What is going on, Stallions and Stallionettes? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven. So we have a lot of topics to cover today. First of all, I want to say happy Father's Day to all the dads out there raising a child, not just making a kid, but actually raising a child from infancy to watching them be a productive member of society has got to be one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences that any man can have. So congratulations to you guys. We hit 20,000 subscribers on this channel, and it is in no means done or slowing down. In fact, the numbers on the daily grow. I'm a grower, not a shower, and my channel seems to be the same. I'm probably going to be giving away some free shit and also doing a live stream where I can answer your guys' questions, as I have been slacking in my Mac in a little bit when it comes to answering the comment section, as I do get 80 to 250 comments per day. So it's a lot. And unfortunately, this bastard here, not the hat, you can get these all day on Amazon. I have that link in the description below. But the PlayStation 5 has actually gotten even harder to buy now. I'm really sick of making these videos. It's a topic that we'll run the intro first, and then I'll talk more about it, because I could get into a real rant real quick. Let's get it. Alrighty guys, so the PlayStation 5 has been astronomically hard to get your hands on since 6.5 months ago with the launch of the Xbox Series S and X and the PlayStation 5. I'm just going to quickly breeze over to a quick cliff notes of why these consoles are so hard to get, in particular the PlayStation 5, and then why it has just become even harder to get these consoles. It's not getting easier, it's not getting better, the problem is getting worse progressively. So first of all, there was a very, very low amount of supply from Sony and Microsoft with these new generation consoles. This is due primarily to a shortage of silicon chips that create the PCBs or printed circuit boards, basically all the components inside of these new consoles. And this was due to auto manufacturers needing to build their infotainment centers that you see in the dash of new vehicles, not to mention cellular phone companies, making Samsung, TCL, Apple, etc., fighting for silicon. Well, not so much Apple, because they produce a lot of their own stuff in-house, or at least have their own independent vendor or distributor where they get their components from. It's different than Samsung or anybody else. Same thing with Sony. They generally produce a lot of their components in-house in their Sony factories. PlayStation 5, that particular unit, that console, not so much. So anyway, what happened was when the pandemic popped off, all of these manufacturers of cell phones, auto manufacturers, consumer electronics, so laptops, desktops, gaming consoles, they all underestimated how much consumers were actually going to be purchasing. They thought, well, people are going to be laid off or not working. They're not going to have any money for consumer electronics goods. But it actually turned out to be quite the opposite. Since people were working from home, they needed to upgrade their home PCs so they could support Zoom and conference calls, and they could, do their coding or their graphic design or whatever it is they do for their job at home. Not to mention, people are stuck at home, so again, they're probably playing more games. People are getting into streaming that never considered streaming in the previously. So all these manufacturers underestimated on their order forms for these silicon parts and whatnot how much they actually predicted they would need, and then the demand for them was much higher. So they were unable to produce enough units to satisfy the high demand. We haven't had a new home console in 7.5 years. We've been on the 8th generation of home consoles, which is the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. We've been on the 8th generation for quite some time, so when the 9th gen dropped, there was a huge demand, especially because PlayStation fans are loyal, Microsoft fans are loyal, Nintendo fans are loyal. When the Switch Pro or Switch 2 or Super Switch drops, those are the three working names right now that we've heard, people are going to scoop them up. They're going to grab their shovels and they're going to scoop them up. Low supply, high demand reveals an opportunity for scalpers to run bots and scripts, which made the problem even worse when you have massive organizations like Crep Chief Notify in the UK. I got a thin dick! That scooped up 3,500 units of PlayStation 5's disc and digital only versions, which is more at that time than the major reputable vendors had. Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop, Newegg, etc. So it just snowballed. All these issues snowballed on top of each other. High demand, low supply, scalpers, silicon shortage. So it's gotten even worse now. We got some news about a week ago. So you guys have probably heard there's this new super strain or evolved strain of COVID-19. This new strain has been running rampant overseas in the China and Taiwan area, which sure enough, that's where a lot of these components, these chips for these consoles are produced and also tested. So one of the warehouses that does the quality control for these chips, i.e. testing them, with the little multimeters, making sure that there's getting proper current and all that good stuff. 230 of their employees, which is the majority of their employees, all came down with this new super strain of COVID, are violently ill. So, prayers for them and their families. Hopefully they pull through and whatnot. But because of that, there's another kink in the production chain here that is slowing down production of PlayStation 5s. So now, because these chips can't get quality controlled and, you know, pass the QC phase and move on to assembly phase, so a large number of PS5s are currently held up in production. I just want to say this to everyone out there that currently owns a PlayStation 5. I've had mine for about 4 months now, and it is easy to get complacent or just to forget how hard it still is. That's what she said. To get these fucking consoles. You know, we might think because, oh, we have these consoles. Not everyone does. In fact, the vast majority, we're in the minority right now, which is a great minority to be in, but we are the minority by far. And just thinking back to it, trying to put myself mentally back in that spot that I was in when I was trying daily, several hours a day, daily for 2.5 months to get the PlayStation 5. And it was incredibly frustrating for me because not only am I, well, an avid gamer, but also I have a YouTube channel, a gaming centric YouTube channel where I'm missing out daily on content that I could be shooting, watching my competitors, bigger channels than me, smaller channels than me, getting their hands on PS5s, probably because a lot of them paid scalper prices, which I said blatantly I was not going to do. You know, luckily I held out and I actually paid under MSRP retail, $480 for a disc version PS5. Thank you, military. But just watching all this hot, sticky content get created that I know, okay, cool. That's less views when I make that video because it's already been done. It was just super frustrating. And it had literally gotten to the point to where I gave up on getting a PlayStation 5. And I told myself, you know what? I'm just going to wait 6 to 8 months, which actually now, at the time, I was like, I'll just wait 6 to 8 months. They're not going to be readily available in 6 to 8 months. I have covered news topic after leak, after so many bricks in the wall of between you and getting a PlayStation 5. They're most likely not going to be readily available until the end of 22, beginning of 23. That sounds ridiculous to say considering these consoles launched 6.5 months ago, but that's just the reality that we're in. We are in unprecedented times right now with this pandemic. The last time that we saw something like this with a pandemic like this was with the Spanish flu in the early 1900s. And then they didn't have any electronics goods back then. So you combine that with scalpers that have means to bots and scripts. Like people were scooping up Da Vinci paintings and whatnot with, you know, chiseling bots and scripts on stone tablets and stuff. We are in unprecedented times here, guys. So if you do have a PlayStation 5, for the love of God, cherish it. You gotta cherish it. You do.
For the love of God, cherish it.
Jennifer, why don't you try reading out loud for a minute, okay?
You gotta cherish it. You do.
And if you do not have a PS5, because I meditated earlier this morning and I put myself mentally in the spot that I was in 6 months ago when I was struggling to get that console. And you know, it's not something like you've been diagnosed with cancer, you got both your ankles blown off in deployment, your wife cheated on you, your dog just died, you got laid off from the company you've been working for 28 years right before you were able to retire, something like that. Those are real world, real life problems. But as far as trying to get a consumer electronic good, which in the grand scheme of things are first world problems. Oh, my iPod just died on me. Oh, damn it. People are like literally dying of like Ebola and SARS and shit like that. But anyway, as far as the problems that we have here in North America generally, it was incredibly frustrating trying left and right, tip to tits, nuts to butts to get myself a PS5. It was getting to the point where I was getting ready to go under a bridge and work for a PS5. You know what I mean? And that wasn't really going to suck anybody off, but here's what I will say though. If you still have a PlayStation 4 or a PS4 Pro, a lot of these games that are on PS5, not all of them, but a lot of them, the majority of them are playable, and a PS4 Pro is actually a really powerful console. Same thing with an Xbox One X, not the One S, but the One X, which you can scoop those up used on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, eBay for, you know, a few $100s. So if you can't get your hands on a new gen console, which most likely, if you're just trying to get a Series S, you can find them pretty easily. The Series X and the PlayStation 5, they're virtually impossible to find still. And unfortunately, the Switch Pro is going to be just like that, which is really unfortunate. Now, the next thing I wanted to cover, getting away from the consoles and whatnot, we did just hit 20,000 subscribers, which I have to thank each and every one of you guys, especially the people that have been around the channel since I, had under 10,000 subscribers, which, by the way, this is a fun little factoid here. We were celebrating 10,000 subscribers at the beginning of this year. It is now June, 6 months later, and I have 20.1 thousand subscribers, and it goes up literally 80 to 100 subscribers per day, generally. I really appreciate that because I was grinding my ass off with a full-time job in the military, plus going to school and balancing, my work-life balance and whatnot. for 2.5 years and not getting really anywhere, not getting any traction on YouTube. And I was starting to get disheartened, but I'm very stubborn and I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this full-time a career or if this is just something, a lucrative hobby that I wanted to indulge in. And I just kept plugging away at it. And I do put, just so you guys know, behind the scenes, I put probably 40 to 50 hours a week into YouTube, whether it's planning videos, setting up my room, shooting videos, editing videos, because I don't hire an editor or anything. I edit my own videos in Adobe Premiere or DaVinci Resolve, and then optimizing the videos with keywords, titles, thumbnails, descriptions. You have to type a couple paragraphs in there, linking products from Amazon, stuff like that. And I still work 40 hours a week. I have a full-time job, and then I come home and I work probably another 40 to 60 hours a week. Sometimes I don't have the motivation to make these videos, but I still make myself do it. I force myself to do it. It's one of those things that YouTube is complete passive income, more or less. So your old videos, I have videos that still earn for me from a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And the thing is, you have to put in an astronomical amount of work with YouTube up front, and you won't see any results for the longest time. When you're sub 100 subs, when you're lower than 100 subs, or even lower than 1,000 subscribers, because you cannot monetize your channel until over 1,000 subscribers, at least from Google AdSense ads. You can always monetize with like Amazon affiliate links and stuff like that, or sponsors. You can direct people to a Patreon page or a Twitch or some kind of a paid platform. You can create your own products and services and then direct people to a website, because basically YouTube is like free marketing for you. But you can't monetize Google AdSense ads, which are those little pre-roll ads that play before the videos, until you have 1,000 subscribers. And even that like isn't huge or anything like that. I make between like $1,500 and $2,000 a month from just the Google AdSense ads, and probably like another $1,000 to $1,300 from Amazon Associates, then a couple more $100 from like companies sending me free shit and stuff like that. But which is, I'm not saying that's not a lot of money, because it is. But yeah, for the longest time, you won't be making any money, and it's very frustrating. So just don't get disheartened, because it's very easy to get disheartened when you are working for zero money. Imagine punching in at your local job, and then at the end of the month, you don't get a paycheck. That's basically how it feels. But granted, it's a hobby. It's something that you enjoy. I'm covering a topic that I actually do enjoy, which is video games, gaming news, honest product reviews, stuff like that, things that I enjoy. And now it has become lucrative for me, which I do greatly appreciate. And I have no doubt in my mind that with the current trend that we're seeing here, as long as I keep producing quality content, the keyword quality, not just pumping out quantity, which I try and go for a video a day, but also quality. So new original videos for you guys, just high quality. I mean, video quality, nice camera, audio quality, nice XLR microphone. That's another thing. A lot of the money that I earn for YouTube, I reinvest into like my equipment and stuff like that. It's not like I'm blowing this money on hookers and blow or anything like that. I'm actually spending it on like the gear, equipment to grow the channel. Because like I said, I'm a grower, not a shower, ladies. Yeah, I just wanted to genuinely thank all you guys, just tell you guys happy Father's Day, and cover that PlayStations are still hard as shit to get a hold of, thanks to, well, they can't QC them because more than half their factory has COVID right now. Which is another thing. I want you guys to stay safe out there, please. Just make sure if you're not high risk or anything for the vaccine, get yourself one of those. Maybe not the JJ, because I've heard some stuff about that. But the Pfizer or the Moderna, I've gotten Pfizer. You have to get 2 separate shots, which does kind of suck. But I literally got like 0 side effects. And now I feel less paranoid or anxious when I'm around a big group of people and people are coughing in my mouth and hawking loogies down my throat and stuff. I just open up and let them shoot it in there like a baby bird, because hey bitch, I'm vaccinated. I know you still carry the virus. You just don't get the really bad symptoms like the respiratory infections and stuff like that. But I'm all over the place with this video, but that's kind of what this video was thanking you guys. Happy Father's Day. PlayStation 5 still hard as hell to get. Stay safe and stay healthy. And that is going to do it, Stallions and Stallionettes. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more people. As always, if you are not subscribed already, as a good portion of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, hitting the subscribe button is free, takes 3 seconds, and you will be alerted of my new and upcoming videos, as long as you do it in conjunction with that notification bell to the right of it, or to the left, depending on if you're on mobile or PC. And I will see you guys in the next video, which actually, I have another video going live in 1 hour and 8 minutes. So 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. I have a pretty cool video. It's all 4K, and it is me unboxing and showcasing a $1,000 Xbox One controller. limited edition Gears of War controller, explaining why it's that expensive and what to look for to make sure you're not buying a replica or a clone. You are getting an authentic collector's edition controller. So that'll be live in about an hour, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.